Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. And on today's episode, we're looking at the bourbons and whiskies to be released in the month of October. Run the video. Alright then folks, thank you for joining us for another new and exciting episode here on the Whiskey Cove, where we will be taking a look at some of the whiskies and bourbons that are going to be released in and around the month of October. You might want to check some of the other videos like the September, the August and even July, because sometimes whiskies get pushed back a little bit and the timeline changes, so there's some useful information on the videos before this. Also as well, we will be doing a live stream in Cape Coral, Florida. Myself will be doing the live stream, and also Charles from That Bourbon Dude. During the live stream, we are going to be giving away some awesome, crazy samples. If you remember last time, the samples we gave away was a Russell's Reserve kind of set with Russell's 1513, the two Camp Nelsons and the Wild Turkey non-chill filtered. And then we also give away a President's Choice, and then we also give away a big Buffalo Trace sampler, which is like George T. Sag, E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, and some other really great bottles. But on this one, I am going to be giving away a Weller lineup. So from Weller Special Reserve all the way up to Weller William LaRue Weller, we'll be giving that away. So you'll have the single barrel, the CYPD, the full proof, the OWA, the 107 OWA, the 12-year. No, we're not going to be giving away the MO or the Millennium. That would just be insane. However, we have the old school Weller lineup that includes 2023 William LaRue Weller. Also, where Charles is going to be dropping some awesome samples during that live stream. That is going to be October 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will also include all this information in the description down below, and then also I will include it on the social media platforms. So live stream October 4th at 8 p.m. You definitely do not want to miss that one. Also, if you haven't already, check out the description down below, the St. Jude charity raffle, where we $10 to take in. We have some awesome giveaways. Go and check that out. It's a really great cause. Thank you for everybody who supported. We're very close to that $1,000 goal. With that being said, the first bottle on today's list is Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. This is the 2024 release. This is the second edition since they've started making these bottles. This one, much like last year, is going to be a blend of 12 and 13-year whiskey. However, there's a little difference this year in terms of the pricing and the ABV. It's going to be the 70% corn, the 16% soft red winter wheat, and then the 14% malted barley. That's going to be the same. However, the ABV this year is going to be 59.65% ABV or 119.3 proof. And that's different because last year was 115.7 proof. So this year you get an extra like 4.3 proof points higher. So it's a little bit more ABV. Price is also a little bit more. Last year was $150. This year is going to be $175. So you're paying an extra $25 for maybe a little bit more ABV. Hopefully this will be more findable too. Last year it was very, very difficult to get, and it was a great bottle. So we're really hoping that this bottle lives up to everything that last year gave us. And especially if you're paying the extra $25, you want it to be better. So let's see what Maker's Mark can come back again with this year. Moving on and staying in Kentucky, that is because we are going to the Jim Beam Distillery. So recently we did a video called King Grandad, where we blended a few of the old granddads and we came up with really great tasting whiskey. I think they might have heard us because they are bringing out an old grandad, and this is going to be a 16-year-old grandad. This is going to be 100 proof or 50% ABV, so much like the Bonded. However, it's going to be aged for 16 years. So if there's one thing when I drink old grandad that I think it's missing, and by the way, it's a great tasting whiskey for the price. I would say the one thing, if I'm really picking it apart, is the age. I think it could do with a little bit of age to make it feel more of a complete product. We're getting that here, 16 years of age. And it says a minimum of 16 years, so it could be a blend of whiskey that is higher than that. This is going to be 63% corn, 27% rye, and 10% malted barley. So much like a lot of Jim Beam stuff, it's going to have a lot of rye in the mash bill, so expect it to be probably a little bit spicy there. 50% ABV, 100 proof, and this is going to be unfiltered as well. So I was looking for the price on this, and this was a really difficult price to be able to nail down. So I saw in some places they were reporting it as $150, but that wasn't a price I was able to confirm. Maybe at the filming of this video, when it gets posted, the price may have already been released at this point. So expect probably 100 to about 175, in somewhere around there. Obviously, that was the price at the distillery. If and when they get distributed around the country, that price will probably get a few different things kind of ticked on or tacked onto it. But if it could be less than $100, that would be awesome. But I'm expecting about 150 for that, and that's a ball I'm definitely going to be looking for. We are big Old Grandad fans on this channel. 2 releases from the Heaven Hill Distillery, and we'll kind of do these together. Then it's going to be the Elijah Craig, that is going to be the C924, and then also the Larcenary Barrel Proof C924. So this last batch of the year for the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is going to be 64.5% ABV, or 129 proof. The Heaven Hill's got traditional mash bill for Elijah Craig, 75% corn, 12% dry, and a 13% malted barley. This is probably going to run you between $70 and $80, much like it has been. I don't really want to see it go over $80. I don't really like it at $70 to $80, but I think that's a pretty fair price for what you're getting. The age on this, I believe, is going to be 11 years. So this is another release that has been below the 12-year kind of cutoff that we used to have. So all the barrel proofs that are on weren't single barrels like the early releases of the A, B, and C, were always 12 years. And then we had that first one that came through, the C923, which was for 13 years and 6 months. But since then, we haven't had anything that's gone above 12 years. So use that information how you will. Next, we have the Larcenary C924. This actually has a new look label that you'll see on the screen here. This is the new look label is going to be on the barrel proof Larcenary, and also the regular single small batch offering. So it's just kind of like a symbol, just a kind of updated label, if you like. This one is going to be 62.1% ABV, or 124.2 proof, which is quite high for Larcenary. It kind of lives around the high 50s and low 60s. So yes, this is still low 60s, but it's nice to see it in the 60% ABV, because that's not always the case with the Larcenary barrel proofs. 68% corn, 20% wheat, and then 12% malted barley. C batches of the Larcenary tend to be the best, in my opinion. Last year's C923 was excellent. I believe Fred Mimic put it like the C batch and the B batch in his top 5 bourbons of the year, which is pretty insane. But the Larcenarys generally run a little cheaper than the Elijah Craig counterparts. You'll see these for about $60 to $70. So if you don't want to spend the kind of extra money on the Elijah Craig and like your wheated bourbons, then the Larcenary barrel proof might be the one for you. I like them both. I haven't bought as much of the Elijah Craig for a while because I have a lot. I've spent maybe a little bit too much money on like the single barrel offerings, because that was pretty cool. But now, unless there's one that's crazily good, I'll chase that like I did the C923. Moving on from Kentucky, we're gonna go take a trip out to Utah, and it is that time of the year where High West are dropping their special release of the year, with the High West Midwinter Nights Dram Act 12. This is the 12th release. It's pretty nuts to think that they've already done 12 of these, so the last 12 years they've been doing them for. So the distillate of this bottle is going to be the same distillate as they use in the Rendezvous Rye, which is a combination of 2 different distillates. One is their own mash bill, and then the other one is a source mash bill from MGP. Their own mash bill is 80% rye and then 20% malted barley. And then they blend that with the MGP mash bill of 95% rye and then 5% malted barley. And then they finish it in Tawny and Ruby Port barrels. So this ABV on this one, much like all years gone by, is going to be 49.3% or 98.6 proof. Last year I went to the release party at Park City in High West. What a great night. If you want something to do in October and you don't mind to fly out to somewhere like Utah and you like it around the ski towns like in Park City, I had so much fun. I think it was about $200, $250. They give you a pour of the new High West. They let you buy 2 cases of the stuff if you really want to. There's like a bunch of great food. I think they had like caviar, lobster. They really kind of bring the party to town on this one. Also as well, the price on this for $130. I haven't heard anything if that's going to go up this year. It's pretty hard to pay $130 for anywhere but the distillery, because I didn't see $130 for this bottle at all at anywhere else last year. Realistically, it's $160 in most places, which is a lot of money. Last year's edition was okay, it was pretty decent. It was better than Act 10, not as good as 9. And hoping that now that they keep putting more of their own distillate in there, I think they hopefully might got the blend right and the finishing right. So expect maybe big things from this bottle this year. We have 2 bottles left, and these 2 bottles are absolute bastions and titans of the whiskey world. We have a big one from Russell's at the end. However, penultimate one is Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. They are back with another release of Coy Hill. Coy Hill has had a few different releases now. We've seen them go to some really crazy ABVs and proofs. So far, it looks like this year they're not going to be able to be hitting those high hazmat heights. This one is going to be 61% ABV. Oh, that's going to be, it's going to be between, there's going to be multiple different releases of different ABVs, but it's going to be between 61% ABV and 68.75% ABV, or 122 to 137.5 proof. So it's going to be like a couple of different small batches within that ABV and proof. They're all going to be aged a minimum of 11 years, which is a pretty good age for these bottles. And it's going to set you back a modest $80, which is a really good price actually for these bottles, saying how much they're sought after. People go crazy for this stuff, and rightly so. Mash bill on this is going to be 80% corn, 12% rye, and then 8% malted barley. And something to keep in mind, this is a Tennessee whiskey. It's not technically bourbon, but they go through all the steps that bourbon does, but they filter it out through the maple charcoal process, which you can look up online, or you can go and take a distillery tour there, which is an awesome tour, and then they show you kind of that process of what that looks like. That's why Jack Daniel's tends to have a little bit of a small sweeter palate with that. But again, for $80, an 11-year high proof Coy Hill representing the rick house that is up on Coy Hill at the distillery grounds. Cool story behind that, and some really great tasting whiskey. Hopefully this year it will continue to be at that same level. So then lastly, we are taking a trip down to Wild Turkey because they are releasing a new Rick House series for this year. As you can see above me, we have the Russell's Reserve Single Rick House Camp Nelson C. They also have a Camp Nelson F. And this year, they're coming out with a Camp Nelson B for Bravo. So this is going to be the Camp Nelson B Floor 6. So it's the Camp Nelson B Rick House Floor 6. This is going to be coming in at 60.1% alcohol, 120.2 proof. Non-chill filtered. The mash bill on this is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. It is my understanding that this is the first single Rick House they've put out that has been over 60% alcohol, 120 proof. So this is going to be a little bit more proof than the other 2 before. I would say the experience I've had with them has been very good. Both of them I've tasted have been very good. However, they haven't been as good as the Russell's 15 that we've had not so long ago. Price on this was, so the first year they released the Camp Nelson C, $250. And then it moved up to about $275, $300 then for the Camp Nelson F. So the B, we're probably going to at least see it for $300. I'm hoping it doesn't get pushed out to $350. That's a lot of money for whiskey. I'm not going to hunt for it in the beginning. If it's lights out crazy, like the Russell's Reserve 15, then I might have to try to pick it up. Maybe if I can make a little bit of a recommendation to you folks at home and to myself, I will probably try it at a bar because it's a lot of money we're dealing with, and even at the bar it might even cost close to $40, $50, which is still a lot of money, but a good little bit of research that you need to do. And if you're explaining to your wife, you have to be like, look, I'm trying to save us money here. I need to taste it first before I spend this money on a bottle of whiskey. With that being said, a lot of great whiskey that is coming out this month, and there's probably a video, there's probably some bottles that I'm missing here, and that is because we're going to be doing a special release coming up here, probably closer to November, of the Buffalo Trace and limited edition bottles that are coming out. So like the Old Forester Birthday Bourbon, some of the Michter's stuff, and also then a lot of the BTAC series and Pappy. What I'm waiting for is, I'm waiting for a lot of the information to come out about those bottles, like price, ABV, mash bills, age, that sort of stuff. So we can bring all that information together and present it to you folks so you know exactly what they're putting out this year. So definitely stay tuned for that video because that's going to be an absolute baller. With that being said, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. Definitely go and check out the St. Jude Raffle. $10 a ticket, some awesome prizes to be won, and a very good cause indeed. As we drink through the world's whiskies one glass at a time, thanks for watching. Cheers.